The Galactic War Council chamber was larger than any human city hall. It floated in open space, held together by glowing energy rings and ancient alien design. The walls showed stars from 1,000 systems. Every seat was filled. Humans sat in only 3 of them. Commander Elias Rook stood behind the human table. He wore his uniform, still marked from the battle. Across from him sat the Alien Alliance leaders. Tall beings, sharp eyes, cold faces. They did not hide their anger. High Strategist Vale spoke first. The battle at Karen Belt was not legal war, Vale said. His voice was calm, but sharp. Humans did not follow accepted combat logic. Rook did not reply yet. An insect-like council member clicked its mandibles. Your forces acted without unified command, without fixed plans. This behavior is dangerous. Another voice joined in, deep and slow. War must be controlled. Predictable. What humans did cannot be allowed. Rook finally spoke. We were losing, he said simply. Our plan failed. We adapted. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Adaptation is allowed, Vale replied. Improvisation is not. The word echoed. Improvisation. The council projected images from the battle. Human ships drifting, ramming, hiding, sacrificing. The council watched in silence. Our simulations failed, Vale continued. Not because of superior weapons. Not because of numbers. But because humans acted without logic. Rook frowned. It was logic. Just not yours. That sentence ended the debate. The council withdrew for 3 hours. When they returned, the decision was already made. The Galactic War Council declares a new law, Vale announced. Human forces are now restricted under Combat Order Statute 7. A screen lit up with glowing symbols. Humans must submit full battle plans before engagement. No deviation allowed. Any unscheduled action will be classified as illegal combat behavior. Rook felt a tight pressure in his chest. This includes, Vale added, individual pilot decisions, instinct actions, and spontaneous coordination. In other words, everything that had saved them. If humans violate this law, Vale said, they will be removed from joint operations. Continued violation will be treated as hostile intent. The hammer struck. The ban was complete. News spread across human space in hours. At first, people laughed. You cannot ban thinking, pilots said. Aliens want us to fly like machines, officers joked. But the laughter faded when punishments began. A human patrol ship reacted early to an ambush. It survived, but the captain was arrested. A fighter wing broke formation to protect civilians. The civilians lived, but the wing was grounded. Human fleets were watched now. Every move tracked by alien systems. Every decision reviewed. Improvisation was no longer courage. It was a crime. Commander Rook returned to Earth orbit weeks later. He stood before the United Human Defense Council. Generals, politicians, and scientists filled the room. They want us predictable, one general said, so they can control us. They want safety, another replied. Chaos scares them. Rook listened. Can we fight under these rules? The council asked him. Rook thought of Karen Belt, of broken plans, of drifting ships, of pilots acting without orders. Yes, he said slowly, but we will not win the same way. The council leaned in. They think improvisation is a flaw, Rook continued. They think it is something we turn on and off. He shook his head. It is who we are. Training changed. Human academies rewrote manuals. New courses appeared, strict combat compliance. Pilots learned to follow plans without question. Officers learned to report every action. Alien observers watched closely. At first, human performance dropped. Battles became stiff. Predictable. Human fleets lost more ships than before. Alien commanders felt relief. Humans are learning, Vale said during one briefing. They are becoming stable. But beneath the surface, something else was happening. Human commanders noticed patterns in the ban systems. They saw what the alien sensors tracked, and what they ignored. The ban punished individual deviation. It did not punish collective outcome. No rule stopped ships from failing at the same time. No rule stopped plans from breaking naturally. No rule stopped humans from reacting to each other. Commander Rook noticed this first. He stood in a quiet training room, watching a fleet exercise. The plan was simple. Too simple. And it failed exactly as expected. Ships slowed. Formations broke. But the pilots did not freeze. They adjusted, not because of orders, but because of shared understanding. Each action was allowed. Each response was approved. Together, they created something the aliens could not see. Rook smiled. High strategist Vale watched human battle data weeks later. Everything looked clean. No violations. No illegal moves. No improvisation alerts. And yet, human battles were harder to predict than before. Their plans are inefficient, an aide said. But results are improving. Vale narrowed his eyes. Explain. They lose early, the aide replied. Then they recover. Not through deviation. Through interaction. Vale did not like that word. Still, the law was holding. Humans were obeying. Or so it seemed. Commander Rook stood on the deck of the Iron Will, watching crews move with quiet focus. No one spoke about improvisation anymore. They did not need to. Because humans were learning something new. If chaos was banned in one mind, it could live in many. And the galaxy had no law against that. The space above Karen Belt was full of fire. Human ships burned one by one. Metal broke apart. Engines failed. Small lights went dark in the black sky. To the Alien Alliance fleet, this battle was already over. Their battle computers had run the numbers 1,000 times. The result was always the same. Human defeat. Commander Elias Rook stood on the bridge of the human flagship Iron Will. His hands were tight on the command rail. His face was calm, but inside his mind, everything was loud. Warning sounds echoed across the bridge. Red lights flashed. Crew members spoke fast, trying to keep control. Shields at 30%, one officer said. Engine 2 is unstable, another shouted. Enemy fleet holding formation. No change. That last line hurt the most. The alien ships moved like one body. Perfect lines. Perfect timing. Every ship knew its place. Every shot was planned before the battle even started. They did not rush. They did not panic. They simply executed the plan. Humans had a plan too. But the plan was dying. Commander, the tactical officer said carefully, our main attack path is blocked. If we stay on course, we will lose 3 more ships in 2 minutes. Rook looked at the battle display. The prediction line was clear and cold. Blue lines for aliens. Broken red lines for humans. This is not how it was supposed to go, Rook said quietly. The human fleet had trained for this battle for months. Every move was approved. Every response tested. But the Alien Alliance had stronger numbers and better weapons. Humans had known that. What they did not expect was how fast everything could fall apart. A loud explosion shook the Iron Will. Crew members grabbed their seats. Ship Hawthorne is gone, someone said. Rook closed his eyes for 1 second. The Hawthorne was not just a ship. It was people. Pilots. Engineers. Friends. Commander, the comms officer said, voice tight, fleet command link is breaking. We are losing control over subunits. Rook opened his eyes. That was bad. Without command links, human ships could not follow the plan. They would be forced to retreat or be destroyed. According to every rule of galactic war, a fleet without clear orders was finished. The alien commanders knew this. On the alien flagship, far across the battlefield, High Strategist Vale watched the same data. The human fleet was breaking exactly as predicted. Their models showed collapse in less than 4 minutes. Maintain pressure, Vale said calmly. No deviation. The alien fleet obeyed instantly. Back on the Iron Will, something unexpected happened. Commander, a junior officer said slowly. Ship Drift Knife has cut its engines. Rook turned sharply. Say that again. They shut down engines and weapons. They are drifting into the debris field. That is not in the plan, the tactical officer said. No, Rook replied. It is not. Before anyone could react, another alert sounded. Cargo ship Mule 7 has broken formation. It is moving under enemy fire. That ship has no combat clearance, someone shouted. The bridge filled with confusion. Commander, we are losing control, the first officer said. Pilots are acting on their own. Rook watched the display. Human ships were no longer moving as one. They were doing strange things. Risky things. Things no battle computer would ever allow. The drift knife slid silently through broken metal and dead ships. Alien sensors, tuned to track engines and weapons, lost it. Then the ship fired. A single missile. Close range. No warning. An alien cruiser exploded. On the alien flagship, High Strategist Vale froze. That outcome is not possible, an aide said. Recalculate, Vale ordered. The system recalculated and failed. Another human ship twisted sideways, using its damaged shield to block incoming fire while a smaller fighter hid behind it. The fighter launched a burst straight into an alien command node. Alien formation staggered. "Commander!" a bridge officer shouted on the iron will. "Enemy line is unstable." Rook leaned forward. His heart raced. "What are our pilots doing?" "No clear pattern," the tactical officer said. "They are responding to local conditions. Instinct. Guesswork. Guesswork." The word would have made any alien commander laugh. But it was working. The cargo ship Mule 7 took a direct hit and kept moving. Its hull burned. Its crew did not stop. The ship slammed into the underside of an alien cruiser, ripping both apart. Shock spread across the alien fleet. Their systems tried to predict the next move. There was no next move. Every human ship acted differently. Some ran. Some charged. Some played dead. Some sacrificed themselves to open paths. The alien battle logic cracked. On the iron will, silence fell as the data changed. "Commander," the comms officer whispered. "The alien fleet, they are pulling back." Rook stared at the display. The impossible was happening. Humans were winning. Minutes later, the battlefield was quiet. Burning wrecks drifted in space. The human fleet was damaged, broken, but alive. Rook exhaled slowly. On the alien flagship, High Strategist Vale stood in silence. The defeat was total. And worse than defeat was confusion. "This was not strategy," Vale said. "This was chaos." "Yes," an aide replied. "Human chaos." Days later, the Galactic War Council met. The battle was reviewed. Every moment was studied. The conclusion shocked the galaxy. Human improvisation was declared a threat. A new law was passed. Human forces would no longer be allowed to fight without strict plans. Improvisation was banned. Commander Elias Rook read the ruling in silence. Then, slowly he smiled. Because humans had never survived by following perfect plans. They survived by breaking. After Helios Reach, the galaxy changed. Human fleets did not grow larger. Their weapons did not become stronger. Their ships were still older than many alien designs. But something unseen had shifted. Other species were watching. They saw the reports. Human plans failed early. Human ships took damage fast. And yet, somehow, humans survived battles they should have lost. Again and again, alien analysts searched for hidden weapons. None were found. They searched for illegal tactics. None appeared. Everything humans did was within the law. That made it worse. High Strategist Vale faced growing pressure. Council members demanded answers. Border systems began to resist alien control. Small species started asking for human advisors. "They want to learn," one aide said. "They believe humans know something we do not." Vale's voice was cold. "Humans do not know it. They are it." He ordered tighter restrictions. Human fleets were limited in joint operations. Their access to shared command networks was reduced. Alien ships were told to keep distance from human formations. The goal was simple: isolate the chaos. Commander Elias Rook received the notice aboard the Iron Will. "They are afraid," his first officer said. "Yes," Rook replied. "That means we are doing it right." "But if they cut us off," she asked, "how do we fight?" Rook looked at the fleet outside the viewport. "We do not fight alone anymore," he said. The first sign came from an unexpected place. A small reptilian species, the Keth, faced invasion by pirates. They had asked the Alliance for help and were denied. Too small, too unimportant. So they called humans. Rook sent only 3 ships. Alien observers laughed. But the humans did not give the Keth weapons or plans. They gave them something else. Simple ideas. Protect your people. Do not wait for orders. If something fails, change. The Keth ships were slow and weak. But they watched the humans. They copied small things. How humans moved when sensors failed. How they covered each other without commands. The pirates were defeated. The Keth survived. Word spread. Soon, other species asked quietly. Not for ships. For teachers. Human advisors arrived on foreign bridges. They spoke little. They did not give orders. They asked questions. What do you do when the plan breaks? What do you protect first? What do you see right now? Alien officers struggled. They were used to rules. Humans taught them to trust moments. Not everyone could learn. But those who did became dangerous. The Galactic War Council panicked. "This is contamination," one member shouted. "Humans are spreading instability." Vale stood silently. "They are spreading survival," he said. A new proposal was made. Full restriction. Humans would be removed from all galactic wars. No advisory roles. No shared space. No influence. A vote was called. It failed by one count. Too many systems now depended on human help. Alien commanders tried a new approach. If chaos could not be banned, it would be overwhelmed. A massive alliance fleet was formed, larger than anything before. Perfect order. Perfect control. Its target was a human border system. Commander Rook knew this battle would be different. They will try to crush us with certainty, he said. Human fleets gathered. Smaller, weaker, scarred. Rook addressed them. There is no new plan, he said. You already know what to do. That was all. The battle began like the others. Human lines held, then bent. Ships burned. Signals broke. Alien fleets advanced in clean waves. Then the chaos spread. Human ships failed in ways that opened paths. One retreat pulled enemies too far. One loss exposed a weak angle. One damaged ship drew fire while others slipped past. Alien command struggled to respond. Their size worked against them. Orders took too long. Humans did not wait. Something new appeared in alien reports. Human fleets were no longer reacting only to humans. They reacted to everyone. When an allied alien ship hesitated, humans moved to support it. When an enemy ship overcommit, humans flowed around it. Chaos had become a field, and humans controlled it. High Strategist Vale watched the data collapse. This is no longer improvisation, he whispered. This is doctrine. The realization hit hard. Humans had turned chaos into a weapon, not a tool to be used. A condition to be created. The massive alliance fleet retreated. Losses were heavy. The galaxy watched in silence. After the battle, something unexpected happened. Alien commanders began to change their training. They allowed small freedoms, minor choices, limited failures. They called it human-inspired flexibility. Humans smiled quietly. Commander Rook met with the Human Defense Council. They copied us, one official said. Is that a problem? Rook shook his head. No, he said. It was always going to happen. Then what makes us special now? Another asked. Rook stood. We were first, he said, and we live in it best. High Strategist Vale resigned weeks later. In his final report, he wrote one line. Chaos is no longer the absence of control. It is a force humans understand. The ban on improvisation still existed. On paper. In reality, it was dead. The galaxy had learned something dangerous. Rules could break. Plans could fail. And when they did, humans became unstoppable. The new human battle plans looked perfect. Too perfect. Every line was clean. Every order was clear. Every response had a number and a time. Alien observers reviewed them and found nothing wrong. No risky moves. No strange logic. No room for chaos. High Strategist Vale approved them all. Humans are finally learning discipline, he said. Commander Elias Rook said nothing. Training fleets moved again through empty space. Human pilots followed plans step by step. When the plan said turn, they turned. When it said fire, they fired. But when the plan failed, as all plans did, something changed. A shield dropped 1 second early. A sensor blinked out. A ship slowed just enough to break formation. Each event was small, natural, allowed. The plan adjusted. Not by command, by people. Pilots reacted to what they saw, not what they were told. Engineers rerouted power without orders. Gunners waited half a second longer or fired half a second early based on feeling. No rule was broken. Every action had permission. But together, the fleet moved in ways no single order described. Rook watched from the bridge. Status? He asked. All actions within approved limits, the tactical officer replied. No violations. Good, Rook said. He leaned back. This was not improvisation as the aliens understood it. This was something deeper. This was shared instinct. Human scientists helped quietly. They studied alien battle laws. They mapped sensor ranges. They learned how the ban system flagged illegal actions. Then they designed plans that were meant to bend. Each plan had failure points. Moments where ships would lose contact. Where power would dip. Where something would go wrong. The aliens saw weakness. Humans saw opportunity. At each failure point, crews were trained not on orders, but on goals. Protect this ship. Hold this space. Survive. How they did it did not matter. Only the result did. Commander Rook called it soft command. The aliens never noticed. The first real test came near the Rylos Gate. A pirate force attacked a human trade route. Under the new law, humans had to submit a plan before response. They did. The plan was slow. Defensive. Safe. Alien monitors approved it. The human fleet arrived late. Pirates laughed. Then the plan began to fail. A pirate missile struck early. A human escort ship lost engines. Formation broke. The pirates rushed in and walked into a trap. Human ships responded without waiting for orders. Fighters shielded the disabled ship. Cargo vessels released drones meant for mining, not war. Pilots used station debris as cover. No one told them to. They simply knew. The pirates were defeated in minutes. Alien monitors reported no violations. High Strategist Vale reviewed the data twice. There is no illegal action, he said slowly. But the outcome is wrong. The age shifted. Humans adapt faster than expected. Vale frowned. Adaptation without improvisation is not possible. Yet the data said otherwise. Human crews began to trust the system. They no longer waited for perfect orders. They waited for signals. A ship slowing. A shield flashing. A pilot's tone of voice. They acted together without speaking. Rook watched young pilots who had never known free improvisation fight better than veterans. They were not breaking rules. They were bending around them. Alien simulations tried to keep up. They added more variables, more conditions, more rules. The simulations grew slower. Human fleets grew faster. Each battle fed the system. Humans learned how aliens reacted to failure. They learned when the enemy hesitated. They learned how fear worked. Because fear came from the unknown. And humans lived there. One night, Rook stood alone on the bridge. Stars drifted past. His first officer joined him. "They think we are weaker," she said. Rook nodded. "Good. They think the ban worked." "Better." She hesitated. "What happens when they realize the truth?" Rook looked at the stars. "Then," he said, "they will already be too late." High Strategist Vale felt it too. Human fleets no longer collapsed when plans failed. They changed shape, flowed, reacted. Alien command AIs reported increased uncertainty. Probability curves widened. Human actions show no single point of control, an aide said. "Then remove the leaders," Vale replied. Assassination attempts failed. When a human commander fell, nothing stopped. The fleet kept moving. There was no head to cut off. Vale felt something cold. Chaos was no longer human weakness. It was human structure. Commander Rook met with the Human Defense Council. "They banned improvisation," he said. "So we removed it." The council looked confused. "We did not remove chaos," Rook continued. "We removed the need to choose it." He smiled slightly. "It chooses us now." The galaxy still believed humans were obeying. Human battle reports were clean, lawful, approved. But behind the numbers, something new was alive. A weapon without a trigger. A plan without a center. A system built from failure. And when the next great war came, the galaxy would learn the truth. You cannot ban what humans share. You can only teach it to grow. The war slowly faded, but its shadow stayed. Years passed. Borders shifted. Old powers weakened. New alliances formed. Through it all, one truth spread across the galaxy like a quiet warning. Humans were different. Not because they were stronger. Not because they were smarter. But because they could not be fully controlled. The ban on improvisation still existed in the galactic archives. It was still written in clean symbols and old legal words. But no one enforced it anymore. There was no point. Human fleets followed the rules when asked. They submitted plans. They used approved weapons. They obeyed limits. And yet, no enemy ever trusted those plans. Because everyone knew what happened when a human plan failed. That was when the real danger began. Commander Elias Rook was older now. His hair was gray. His uniform was simple. He no longer stood on the front lines. Instead, he served as an advisor, called to meetings where silence followed his name. He walked through the halls of the Galactic Council one last time. Alien leaders watched him carefully, not with anger, with respect and fear. A young alien commander once asked him, "How do we stop humans?" Rook smiled gently. "You do not." The commander frowned. "Then how do we survive you?" Rook answered honestly, "By planning less and paying more attention." Human advisors were now everywhere. On trade fleets, on defense stations, on border patrols. They did not command. They observed. They asked simple questions. What is breaking? Who is exposed? What do you protect first? Some species listened. Some did not. The ones who listened survived longer. Human fleets were rarely the largest force in a war. Often, they arrived late. Sometimes, they looked weak. Enemies learned not to relax. Because humans did their best work when things went wrong. A human ship drifting was never ignored. A human retreat was never trusted. A human loss was never the end. Stories spread. There was the battle where humans lost their flagship and still won. The siege where humans ran out of ammo and changed the battlefield instead. The defense where a broken comm system made humans stronger. Alien academies studied these events. They failed to explain them. One report became famous across the galaxy. It was written by an alien battle AI after facing humans for the first time. The final line read, "Prediction impossible. Human behavior increases efficiency after failure." The AI was shut down soon after. Commander Rook visited the Karen Belt again. The wreckage was mostly gone. Stars were calm. Only memory remained. He stood alone, watching space where chaos had once saved them. A young human officer joined him. "Sir," she said, "do you think the galaxy hates us?" Rook thought for a moment. "No," he said. "They fear us." "Is that better?" Rook smiled softly. "It is safer. Humans never claimed victory over the galaxy. They did not rule. They did not conquer. They adapted. And in doing so, they changed how war itself worked. Rigid empires fell apart when plans failed. Flexible ones survived. The galaxy became less stable, but more alive. The final meeting of the old Galactic War Council was quiet. Many seats were empty. Others were filled by new species. The topic was simple. How do we plan future wars? A long silence followed. Then a delegate spoke. "We leave space for humans." Everyone understood. Commander Rook retired soon after. On his final day, he recorded a message for future officers. It was short. "Plans matter," he said. "Rules matter. Discipline matters." He paused. "But when everything breaks, remember this. Humans do not win because we plan better. We win because we keep moving." Long after Rook was gone, his name remained. Not as a conqueror, not as a hero, but as a reminder. Humanity was not feared for its weapons. It was feared for its reaction to failure. And across the stars, when fleets prepared for war, one phrase became common in every language. "Leave room for human chaos." Because everyone had learned the truth. When humans stop following the plan, that is when the galaxy should be afraid. The war began without warning. An alien alliance strike force entered the Helios Reach, a human-controlled system rich in trade routes and fuel stations. The move was fast and legal under galactic law. The alliance claimed it was a security action. Commander Elias Rook knew the truth. "They want to test us," he said. The human fleet received orders to defend the system. As required, a full battle plan was sent to the Galactic War Council. It was simple. Defensive lines. Slow retreat. Delay actions. Alien monitors approved it in minutes. High strategist Vale watched with calm confidence. "Humans will follow the plan," he said. "And the plan will fail." The first clash happened near Helios Station. Human ships held position. They followed orders exactly. Shields up. Weapons limited. No sudden moves. Alien ships advanced in perfect formation. Their fire was steady and precise. Human defenses weakened fast. Shields at 40%, an officer reported. Rook stood still. He did not give new orders. The plan was breaking, just as designed. A human frigate lost power and drifted. Another ship slowed to protect it. A third shifted position to cover the gap. No command was given. The alien fleet noticed the changes. "Human formation degrading," an aide said. Vale nodded. "Expected." Then something felt wrong. Human ships did not collapse. They reshaped. The line bent, but did not break. Alien fire hit empty space. Missiles lost targets. The alien advance slowed. As the battle spread, more failures appeared. A human sensor array went dark. Fighters switched to visual tracking. Cargo ships moved closer, acting as shields. Mining drones filled the space with moving debris. None of this was in the plan. All of it was allowed. Alien targeting systems struggled. They searched for patterns. There were none. Every human ship reacted to the one beside it, not to a central command. Vale watched the battle data scroll faster. Simulation accuracy dropping, an aide said. "Run deeper models," Vale ordered. The models failed. Human pilots felt it too. They were not waiting anymore. They were moving together, reading small signs. A flicker of light. A pause in enemy fire. A ship turning just a little too slow. They acted. One fighter wing broke off, not by order, but because the space felt open. They struck an alien supply ship, crippling fuel flow. Another group pulled back suddenly, drawing alien ships forward into a field of drifting wreckage. Alien formations tangled. Confusion spread. "Commander," the first officer said quietly, "enemy coordination is failing." Rook nodded. "They are thinking too hard." He watched the map. Human losses were high. Ships burned. Lives were lost. But the alien fleet was no longer in control. On the alien flagship, Vale felt something close to fear. "Why do they not collapse?" he demanded. The aide hesitated. "Because there is nothing to collapse, High Strategist." Vale stared. "Explain." "There is no center. No command node. The humans are acting as a network. Damage one part, the rest adjusts." Vale clenched his claws. That was not war. That was infection. Alien commanders tried to regain control. They issued tighter orders. Locked formations. Reduced autonomy. It made things worse. When one alien ship failed, the others waited for orders. Humans did not. They moved instantly. The gap grew. Human ships surged through, not in one push, but in many small ones. Each move weak alone. Together, unstoppable. The Helios battle lasted 12 hours. By the end, the alien fleet was retreating. The human fleet was shattered, but standing. High Strategist Vale watched the final data in silence. "No violations reported," the aide said. Vale said nothing. The ban was still holding, and it meant nothing. Days later, the Galactic War Council demanded answers. "How did humans win?" one council member asked. Vale stood before them. "They followed the law," he said slowly. "Every rule. Every limit." "Then what is the problem?" another asked. Vale's voice dropped. "The problem is that the law no longer controls the outcome." Silence filled the chamber. Commander Rook returned to the Iron Will. Crews repaired what they could. Names of the dead were read aloud. Rook listened. This victory had a cost, but it proved the truth. Improvisation was gone. What replaced it was stronger. Human battle reports spread across the galaxy. Other species noticed something strange. Human plans failed often. Human fleets survived anyway. They adapted without breaking rules. They won without command. Alien allies grew nervous. Enemies grew afraid. High Strategist Vale met with his inner council. "We cannot fight this," one said. "Their chaos has no edge to cut." "Then ban them fully," another suggested. "Remove humans from war." Vale shook his head slowly. "If we do that," he said, "others will copy them." He looked at the stars. "The galaxy has seen that control can be broken." Commander Rook stood alone later, watching Helios burn softly in the distance. He did not celebrate. He knew the war was far from over. But one thing was clear. The galaxy could no longer predict humans. And in war, that was power.